Folks, I want to take a topic that I was lucky enough to ask Danielle DiMartino Booth, a top Fed expert, an economist that really understands the economy. Not someone that I would honestly call a housing expert, but I think she did give great advice. So if you haven't seen the interview with Danielle DiMartino Booth, it's about 20 minutes. It was posted last week. It was amazing. But the second question I asked her after we talked about killing the Fed put and why nobody talks about it and why it's the most important thing, I asked her, what should the average household do? And in short, she said the average household should start saving money and the average household should not buy a home today. So I thought I would take that concept, maybe go a little bit deeper with my friend, the lumberjack landlord. And I want to ask him, what should the average American household do today? Do you agree with Danielle DiMartino Booth that they should save and not buy a home today? What's the average American supposed to do per the lumberjack?
Um, uh, Find a way to stop living paycheck to paycheck. Like, let's start there. Like 68, 69% of people still living paycheck to paycheck. That means 30% of people aren't. So yeah, I think that the biggest mistake I think people generally make is making moves before their financial house is in order. And then all they do is further complicate their life. It's like a Jenga tower. And so I think that most people, what they really need to focus on is actually learning about money, like what your course talks about. Learn about money, learn how to budget, learn how to do these things, because otherwise, it's truly a gamble. Like, 69% of people live in paycheck to paycheck. 63% of people don't have $800 in their bank account. Like, come on, like, really? I mean, you got to fix that. You got to fix that first. And the next thing, the first thing to do isn't, hey, let's load up with debt.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. You got to get your money right. I mean, we were warning about a recession well over a year ago. Some of the things we talked about was lowering expenses, increasing revenue, side hustle, whatever it is. Those things still stand, right? I agree. I think the average American household should pull a Dave Ramsey. I think there's a reason Dave Ramsey sells so much, because he helps the average American household. The average American household has a lot of debt, doesn't have a lot of savings. So if you're the average household, guess what? Don't buy a home. Fix that. Because again, you don't want to go from being a renter to buy a home, get, debt service of, 43% stretched, water heater breaks, can't afford it, and you rob Peter to pay Paul.
Absolutely.
And this is coming from a guy who believes getting on the property ladder is the quickest way to wealth.
Yep.
I'm just saying that the average household, if the numbers are right, get your house in order. Let's learn about money, right? I think the biggest test to really understand money is the following. Think about an item you want to buy or you want to buy your kids. I always just say Xbox because I don't know what it is. I don't even know what Xbox costs, but I'm going to say it's $1,000.
$500.
Okay. I'm going to say 1,000. I'm going to say $1,000 just because I can. I have no idea. So a lot of folks, when I ask them, what did an Xbox cost you and your family? They take their salary and they go, "Yeah, I make $50 an hour, so it costs me 20 hours." I'm like, no. Do you live somewhere where you don't pay taxes? Right? Because there's a difference between gross and net. Oh, okay. Well, I don't make $50 an hour, I make 40. So it costs me $25 an hour. I'm like, no. Do you pay rent? Do you eat? Do you have a car? Do you have insurance? Do you have entertainment? Right? Oh, yeah, of course I do. Well, suddenly that 25 to 20 or whatever, it's 50 to 40. It sometimes goes all the way to like $2.
Yeah.
The reason you're living paycheck to paycheck is because you're living on $2 an hour of discretionary income.
Correct.
$2 an hour of discretionary income is $16 a day.
Correct.
It's $80 a week.
Correct.
If you're going to buy a $1,000 item and you have disposable income of $80,
13 weeks.
That thing costs you 13 weeks of your life.
Yep.
Folks, get your money right. Get your money right. So yes, I agree with Danielle DiMartino Booth. The average American should learn to save. She made a comment that all her kids are saving now because you can get 5%. I think that's a wonderful idea. We haven't been able to get 5% since like 2006 or 7, whenever that was. So it's real money. I think it's wonderful advice. And yeah, I think the average American should get their money right.
Yeah, I think it's more than just saving though. I think it's shutting things off. You know, it's living life more disciplined. It is, you know, looking at all the knobs, levers, buttons on the dashboard and saying, here's areas where I can scale back. I just worked with somebody and that's exactly what we did. And I said, listen, I said, you have like $2,000 a month that you can take out of your spend. And that can be applied towards debt, credit card debt. And within a year, you're 100% out of credit card debt. And I said, and that makes you far more fiscally sound, you know, because that's what we see, Mike. What, you know, I would recommend, and being landlords, this might seem counterintuitive. I would recommend you reach out to your landlord, because if you're looking for a house and you don't own one and you're actually renting, reach out to your landlord and say, I'd like to do a 2-year lease. I'd like to do a 2-year lease and I'd like to lock in the pricing. And if you've been a great tenant, if somebody reached out to me and they paid their rent on time all the time and they said, I want to lock in at 2 years, we'd negotiate the number a little bit. And I would say, let's lock in for the 2 years. And then they know every single month that's what it's going. And what you need to be able to do is run life much like it's a business, which is incomes and outflows, you know, revenue and expenses. And put yourself in a position where you can really understand what that looks like. Because even if you don't become an investor in real estate, you at least know how to not be a financial idiot and be able to manage paying your bills and actually, I don't know, get ahead in life.
Yeah, getting your money right is just so foundational.
It is.
Right? It removes stress. It provides options. It becomes that pile that can grow and have babies, right? Because again, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you've got nothing to invest.
Correct.
It is step one, right? Step one of my 3-step get wealthy process is create disposable income.
Yep.
Cut expenses, raise income, or do both. There's only 3 options. There's only 3 options.
Yep.
So pick one.
Yeah.
Lots of people in today's economy pick grow revenue, which is awesome. It's sexy. I chose to cut expenses. Was my primary. And again, we cut over about an 18-month period. We cut 50% of our expenses.
Absolutely.
So few people would be willing to do that.
No, that's the issue. It's like, oh, well, I just did this trip, or, oh, we just did that activity, or, oh, we really just wanted to go out and do that lunch. I look at it because I, understand that to take my family of 5 out to breakfast is $75 with tip.
Shoot. Yeah. Olivia and I going out to tip. Yeah.
And I see other people, other diners around me doing the same thing. I don't know how much money they make, but I know they don't make as much as me. 1%.
Yeah.
So I even am looking at those numbers. So people just need to get smart about it. They need to, it's like, if you don't change something, you're gonna end up getting to a place where you regret all the time that you've lost not being disciplined in that regard.
Well, here's the closing thought on this. Because again, I asked Danielle DiMartino Booth, what should the average household do? And I think she nailed it. I think for the average household, she nailed it. I suggest don't do what the average American does. Because if you do what the average American does, you're divorced, fat, and have no money.
Yep.
Let's try to be a little better than average. In today's economy, it takes so little to be better than average. Let's do that. Let's go do that. I want to do that. Let's do that.
Yeah. It's one of those things where, so I was in a housing symposium a week ago, and they were talking about the big homelessness issue.
Yep.
And I said, okay. I said, I took 10 people that were homeless, 13 actually, 13 people that were basically homeless. They took government money to get them a place. It got paid for a year. And out of those 13, 1 is still in an apartment paying. It's because they weren't willing to do what it took to get what they needed and wanted. So at the end of the day, we can't save people. That's not our job. Our job is to share our journey so they can understand what we did to get where we are. And then if you want to end up in that same place, or generally speaking, that same vicinity, then you can do many of the things that we can do. We've already learned the lessons, and we help, delay or eliminate you having to go through those lessons. But that being said, the thing consistently that I see is people aren't willing to do it. So that's fine. Don't piss, moan, and complain because you're living paycheck to paycheck. You're doing that because you won't do what it takes. So if you want to look,
if you're happy, go nuts.
Yeah, largely speaking, go look in the mirror. You're the problem.
Yeah. It's interesting. And again, what's really sad is I have learned through experience where there's great pain, there's great opportunity.
Absolutely.
And there's a whole bunch of pain coming.
Absolutely.
And by the way, folks, we're in the first inning. It's like first inning, first pitch, right? So the game has started, but it's really early. And if you don't want to be average, I'm not telling you to buy anything. I'm telling you to do the damn work. All right. There's a question in our private Facebook group yesterday. It's like, hey, is Michael telling me not to be in the market? I'm like, you're kidding, right? Is somebody trying to punk me? Because it's always the same answer. Do the work. I've looked at my market every day for 22 years. You just never know. Right. And also, by the way, invest in yourself, get better. I've been very clear. I had to learn some new stuff. I'm still learning new stuff. And I actually think there's something that I've added to the event in February. That ADU guy just put up a great video on my channel yesterday at 5:00. He turned a dining room and a living room into a 1-bedroom, 1-bath separate unit for 30 grand, fully permitted.
Yep.
He's gonna rent for like $1,500. I'm like, score. We need to be doing more of that stuff.
Yep.
So again, if you want to be average, if you want to be average, I'm not your guy. I'm so not done. I've so never tried to be average. But if you want to do the work, you're willing to do the work, focus, get your money right, get a buy box, look every day, come on board. Let's see what happens. Matt, you're going to be at the event on February 17th. You excited? You looking forward to it, coming to Vegas?
Yes. To see everybody, it's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, we gotta put something special together. All right, buddy. Thanks. Everybody, by the way, video number 2, this guy bought a jail. Not to tease episode 2, but we're gonna hear about buying a jail. What's this guy doing buying a jail? Anyways, there we go.